Hey you guys, it's Miss Alexander, and today I'm doing more of a strategies video than anything. So we are working with division, and I'm going to show you two strategies you can do. One strategy I'm calling division standard algorithm, which is also known to me as old school. This is the way I was taught on how to do division. And then I will show you the way that we're calling a modified division standard algorithm by using repeated addition. So let's start off with the one we call old school. So the first thing I'm going to do is set up my problem. I'm going to create my division sign. I'm going to put my dividend inside. And then I'm going to put my divisor on the outside. I'm looking for my quotient. So the first thing I do is I go 16 goes into 54 how many times? Well, I'm not too sure about that. So now I'm going to come over here to my free space and quick multiply it out. I got 16 times 2, 12, 32. That's still a little too small. Let's do 16 times 3, 18, 48. That works. But I'm going to quick do 16 times 4 just in case. That's 24. That's 64. So it looks like it's 3. So I'm going to put a 3 right here and do 3 times 16, which is 48, because I just over here on my scratch paper figured it out. Now I'm going to subtract. This I need to regroup. 14. I get a 6. I get to bring my 4 down. This is the one part of old school I do like, is having draw the arrow. And I bring down the 4. And because I did the extra one, I know what it is. So I can put the 4 here, and then I subtract the 64. So when it comes to old school, you're doing a lot of multiplication on the side just to figure out the problem. So 34 would go right here because that is what my answer is. Now, I know it looks kind of simple and easy, but once you get up to those bigger numbers and you're constantly multiplying, trying to figure out, it gets a little cumbersome. So now let's go to the one that I call division standard algorithm with modification. That's been modified. So here we go. Let me make it a little smaller so I can get it all on the page so you can see. Now, are you guys ready? Here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my numbers in. I know my divisor goes on the outside, and my dividend goes on the inside. Oh, I need to make sure I write the right numbers, you guys. There you go. Now, right over here is an addition table. All I'm going to do is take the 16 and put one number in each box, and it added up. That's a 2, that's a 3. I add another 16. That's an 8, that's a 4. I'm going to add another 16. Oops, 16. That's a 4, that's a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. I always do 5 when I'm adding because 5 just seems like a good number. So here are my numbers. Now all I'm asking you to do is take these numbers and quick highlight them. Any color you want. Just make sure you can see them. Let's use blue today. So I'm going to highlight all my 16s just so that I can see 16s versus the sums of my 16s. Okay, so now what I do is I look at 5. Can I pull 16 out of this 5? No. So right up here, I'm going to put a 0. So now I'm going to look at 54. Can I pull 16 out of 54? Well, I know I can get at least 1. But I'm going to go over here and see which number gets closest to me at my 54. So I have 32, 48, and 64, and 80. So I need something smaller than 54, but not too small. So I'm looking at 48. So what I'm going to do right over here is I'm going to write my 48 in. And because I have this 4, I'm going to put a placeholder. And every time we do any type of placeholder, it's 0. It just reminds me I still have that 4 there. So I'm going to come back over to my 48, and I'm going to count my 16s above my 48. Watch, 1, 2, 3. Then over this 4, I'm going to write a 3. Now I'm going to subtract 4 minus 0, 4 minus 8. Remember, put up 4 fingers. I can't take 8 out of 4, so I need to regroup. So my 5 right here becomes a 4, and this 4 becomes a 14. So 14 minus 8 is 6, and then 4 minus 4 is 0. Now, the one thing I always do is I use a highlighter to highlight the 4 to remind me I used the 4, but I need the 5 there so that I can remember the number was 544. So this 1 right here, I also highlight in the yellow, so I remember it's about my subtracting. So now I look at the 16 and the 64, and I come over here and I look for the 64. Oh, look, I found it. So I'm going to write my 6 and my 4 here, okay? And I know if I subtract 64 from 64, it's 0. But I need to know what number to put there. So I'm looking at this 64. I'm going to count all the 16s above it. 1, 2, 3, 4. It is 4. Now, this type of division, standard algorithm modified with addition, the repeated addition, is for students that are struggling with multiplication facts. And it's okay. Not all of us gets it. And it's good to learn different strategies. This strategy actually for Miss Alexander was really difficult to learn because it didn't make sense for me because I learned it old school. But now that I've taught it a while and I got to play around with it, this makes sense. If I would have had this as a kid, I would have rocked the division a lot better than I did. So I'm going to do one more with you guys so you can see the modified. So I put my divisor in. I put my quotient in. If you notice, this is a different number. My number I'm adding is 14. So I'm going to quick add up my 14s. And if you notice, I'm just going to quick highlight. I can pick whichever color I want. I think I'm going to go with green this time because I used blue last time. So this time it's green. So I'm going to quick add up 5 14s. Okay. I know the typing takes a bit because I'm not the quickest, but then I have to add. It's all good. It takes everybody a little bit, especially when you're learning and making mistakes. This is how you learn, and I've made plenty of them with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to quick highlight all my 14s in green so that I can see them, and then I can see the sums of the 14s underneath it. So the first thing I do is I look at my 14. Can I pull 14 out of 4? No. So I'm going to go ahead and put up here 0 to hold my place so that I know that I don't put a number there. Now I look at the 14. Does it go into 44? Well, it's got to go into 44 because it's bigger. So now I go down here and I look for a number close to 44. So I have 28, 42, 56. You guys are right, the 42. So I'm going to quick come right here, right in my 42. And now I've got to figure out how many 14s I need. I'm going to look at the ones above. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put my 3 here, and then I'm going to subtract. Oh, don't forget your placeholder. Then I'm going to bring down my 8. Does 14 go into 28? Oh, look, I have the 28 there. So I can quick put it in and subtract. But now I need to go back and see how many 14s are above it. 1, 2. So this is how division standard algorithm with repeated addition as my modifier works. I hope this helped clarify it a little better. If not, please ask questions, and I will do my best to come up with a different video. As I always say at the end, when you're learning, remember to have fun with it, even though it's hard. The harder it is, the better it is to feel when you conquer it, and you will conquer this. So remember to smile, giggle, and wiggle. Talk to you later.